How many people are buying these downloads from you?
Well, this is actually a relatively new site. We just launched it end of the year, and we're still kind of in our shakeout phase. As far as kind of aggregate ringtone sales, it's interesting because you hear a lot of figures being thrown out there. 5 billion US in domestic ringtone sales last year, 3 billion, et cetera. I'll say this without actually giving numbers because I can't. It has developed into a significant revenue stream for us. Obviously, it's not 10% of our net revenue, but we're a performance-based catalog. We make the lion's share of our income is from foreign performances of our motion pictures or TV shows generating performance royalties. That's where the bulk of our income comes in. Licensing income now over the last 4 years since I've been there has grown to probably be a much more significant part of the catalog or much more significant part of the revenue stream. And wireless is growing. We license not only music for ringtones. When you guys play, how many people buy wireless games through your phone? Anybody? All right. It's very interesting. I think I'm going to burst a lot of bubbles when I go back to the convention because if you see what the projections are for that area, I mean, there are companies that are crazy VC money being thrown at companies that are creating wireless games. I mean, it's supposed to be this huge growth segment in the market. Now, obviously, just out of curiosity, if you don't mind, for those of you who don't buy ringtones, games, etc., is it the cost? Is it that you don't have interest in those products? What are the main reasons why you guys aren't fulfilling the target demographic that they want you to?
I personally don't do it because it's kind of like it's pretty impractical because I listen to that ringtone for about 15 seconds each time if at all. Like, because I hear the phone and I answer and it's off.
Right.
So there's no point in me shelling out even like 50 cents for a new ringtone.
Okay.
Because it's cool, but I just don't need that.
Interesting.
I think of my cell phone as a phone, not as like a tool for multimedia.
Yeah. Excellent.
It's probably going to develop into that, but it sounds like you're saying.
Well, I don't know how many of you watch. Is there somebody back there that had their hand raised? Apple just announced about a month or so ago a partnership with Motorola to develop a cellular phone that will have iPod capability. So things are moving towards that direction. But it is interesting, and that's one of the problems that I have generally with this business is, let's not forget, there is a primary purpose for the product, which is, it is a telephone. And exactly. And being in conferences like this, now obviously there's a lot of tech people, there's a lot of, equipment sellers, but sometimes I think that some of the people that are developing applications and content for this forget that it is, primarily a communications device. And did you have a question back there?
Yeah, I have a question. The conference is global, right? It's like is it global or is it national?
It's global.
Okay, so what I've heard, and I've out in other countries when I've been there, is like the application of a cell phone for other devices as for other uses is like growing much, much more rapidly than it is. Like PDA sales are down in the States, and so they stopped manufacturing because they had calendar capabilities on a cell phone, that type of thing.
Well, yeah, you have smartphones like the Treo or the BlackBerry phone and things like that.
Like, how is that growing in comparison to the presence in the global market already? Like, do you think their predictions are wrong?
I think their predictions probably are not wrong in the long term. I think they may be overly optimistic in the short term, but that as an emerging business segment, that happens quite frequently. But I mean, I'll put it to you this way: a Treo 615 or a BlackBerry costs anywhere from $399 to $599. All right. I think some of the issues, and those are the smartphones with web access and your calendar software, as well as your digital camera, as well as your phone. I think some of the people feel, though, am I going to invest $400, $500 in something that's going to be obsolete in 6 months? There's kind of a wait and see look for that. I mean, how many people here in your current economic situation, have any interest at all in spending $500 on a cell phone? Yeah, probably not. You do? All right, that's one. Okay, good. But, so I think they may have overly optimistic projections for the short term. Also, you know, and it's very interesting, a lot of the metrics that they're using, especially for some of these entertainment applications, are from data that they're pulling from South Korea and Japan, which is strange to me that we're basing, you know, a domestic U.S. business model off of what's going on in Southeast Asia. You know, I'm sure people use cell phones differently in New Orleans than they do in LA. LA, we are car-based. You know, we have very little public transportation. You're always in your car, so you have a tendency to see people on their cell phones constantly. But again, they're using it for a communication device. They're not playing games. They're not checking things. You know, you always see people in this conference showing everybody what's the latest, greatest application that they've created for themselves or for their company. On Sunday, we were walking around going to dinner, and I asked somebody from Fox Sports if UCLA had made the NC2A tournament, and they were more than happy to open up the Fox application and show me, you know, what came through. But again, you know, it served its purpose then, but generally speaking, I don't know, you know, what's going to occur with this.